If this message found you today, right now, in the quiet of your room or the noise of your mind, it is because there is a version of you who sent it. A version of you who has already made it through this exact moment, this exact feeling, this exact ache. This is the message she knew you would need to hear. It is a promise whispered back in time, from a soul that remembers, from a heart that healed. This is the truth your spirit has been aching for. It is a message for the woman who feels she is standing on the shore of her own life, watching the tide go out, taking with it the certainties she once knew. It is for the heart that has learned to beat in the rhythm of waiting, a long, slow, and lonely cadence in the hollow of an empty nest. You still feel the muscle memory of setting an extra place at the table. You still hear the phantom echo of footsteps in the hall. A silence so loud it feels like a presence in itself. It is for the soul who has given so much of herself away, to her children, her partner, her career, her aging parents, that when she looks in the mirror, she sees a stranger's exhaustion reflected in her own eyes. A stranger she politely nods to, before turning away to meet another need, answer another call, solve another problem that is not her own. It is for the one who feels she is living in the space between, a long hallway of unopened doors, no longer who she was, but not yet who she is becoming. You feel it, don't you? That sacred ache, that holy confusion. It is a profound spiritual loneliness, the feeling that you are speaking a language no one around you understands. You have done everything right, followed all the rules, loved with all your might, and yet you find yourself here, in this quiet wilderness, wondering if you were forgotten, wondering if this stillness is your final destination, or just a pause before the real story begins. You look back at the chapters already written and fear the best parts are behind you, that the rest is just an epilogue. Your future self sent this message to tell you, this is not the end of the story. This is not the epilogue. This is the sacred, fertile, and terrifyingly blank page where the story truly, finally, becomes your own. Your journey is sacred. If this message resonates with a truth in your own heart, honor it in the comments below. I am here to bear witness to your story. Your heart knows this truth, even if your mind, with all its logic and fear, has forgotten it. That version of you, the one who is already living in the peace you crave. She remembers this season with a tenderness that would break your heart. She knows the weight of the silence in the morning, when the coffee pot brews for one. She remembers the specific ache of seeing your children's empty rooms, not just as spaces they have left, but as monuments to a version of you that is no longer required in the same way. She knows the feeling of being the reliable one, the strong one, the caregiver who holds everyone else's world together, while her own feels like it is quietly unraveling. She remembers sitting in a hospital waiting room, holding her own mother's hand, seeing the frailness there, and feeling the tectonic shift of becoming the matriarch, a role she never asked for and feels wholly unprepared to fill. The weight and the honor are tangled together, and in that tangle she feels her own identity fraying at the edges. Have you felt this too? The quiet overwhelm that descends not in a storm, but in the stillness of an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. The feeling of being invisible in a meeting at work, your years of experience rendered silent by louder, younger voices. You sit there, the architect of a career that once defined you, and you wonder if you're becoming a relic in the house you helped build. She remembers the anxiety that whispers in the dark, the questions that circle and refuse to land. Have I done enough? Am I enough? What is my purpose now that the primary roles have shifted? What if this is all there is? That future you, she stands as a lighthouse, and she wants you to know that this fog you are in, this disorienting grayness, is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that the landscape of your life is changing. The tide is turning, even if you cannot see the water move. She is the keeper of that lighthouse, and she has weathered this exact storm before. She knows the coastline of your soul by heart. She remembers the fear of aging not just in the mirror, but in the dismissive glance of a world that worships youth. The fear of setting a boundary with your family and being met with the cold silence of disapproval. The fear of letting go of a long-term marriage that has become a comfortable, lonely habit, because the unknown feels more terrifying than the familiar ache of disconnection. She knows the guilt. Oh, the guilt that comes with wanting something for yourself. The deep, ancestral conditioning that screams that a good woman's needs should always come last. But this isn't the whole story. Not yet. She wants you to look closer at the pain. It is not a punishment. It is not a sign of failure. It is a passage. Every moment of loneliness is carving out a deeper capacity for sacred solitude and eventually a more authentic connection. Every tear you cry is watering the seeds of a garden you have not yet seen. Every time you feel like you are breaking, you are simply breaking open. This is a holy shedding, a sacred stripping away of every identity that was never truly yours. The perfect mother, the dutiful wife, the flawless professional, they were roles you played with honor and love, costumes you wore, but they are not the essence of who you are. The silence is a doorway into that essence. The confusion is a compass, pointing you away from the life you thought you should have and toward the one your soul is calling you to live. She remembers learning to sit in that silence. At first, it was deafening, full of ghosts of what used to be and fears of what might never be. She would fill it with noise, the television, the podcast, the endless scrolling, anything to avoid the conversation her own heart was trying to have with her. But slowly, she learned to breathe into it. She learned that the silence was not empty. It was full of presence. It was the whisper of her own intuition, long drowned out by the needs of others. It was the gentle, steady rhythm of her own heart, a reminder that she was still here, still alive, still worthy of her own attention. She wants you to try this. Just for a moment, place a hand on your heart, close your eyes, and breathe. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your own chest. This is your anchor in the storm. This is home. You are not behind in life. You are not failing. You are in a sacred process of becoming. Think of the great trees. They do not grow in a straight, uninterrupted line. They endure winters that strip them bare. They are battered by storms that break their branches. They are starved of light in the crowded forest. But they do not stop reaching for the sun. The winter is what allows the spring to be born. The broken branches make way for new growth. The struggle for light deepens their roots. You are deepening your roots. You are gathering your strength. This season of your life, this challenging, confusing, and often painful transition, it is your winter. And your future self is here to promise you, with every fiber of her being, that your spring is coming. In a moment, I'll share the shift that turns this pain into peace. She remembers the small moments when the light began to return, like tiny, courageous crocuses pushing through the frozen earth. A phone call with a friend that felt like a warm blanket, a friend who didn't try to fix it, but just said, "Me too." A book that seemed to be written just for her, its words a balm on a wound she didn't even know how to name. A walk in nature where, for the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of peace settle in her bones, a feeling of being a small, perfect part of a much larger, perfect whole. A sudden, unprompted memory of the girl she used to be, the one who painted and danced and believed in magic, and a quiet recognition that she was still in there, waiting patiently to be invited out to play. These are not random occurrences. They are signs. They are crumbs on the path, left for you by your own soul, guiding you home. Your future self sees you. She sees your courage, even on the days you can only cry. She sees your strength, even when all you feel is weak. She honors your journey, every stumble, every detour, every moment of doubt. She is not disappointed in you. She is in awe of you, because she knows what it took to get through this. She knows you had to walk through fire, and she is standing on the other side, in a life that was forged in those very flames. You know another woman who is walking this same path in silence. Share this message with her not just as a video, but as a quiet offering of understanding from one lighthouse to another. She wants you to know that nothing was wasted. The generational trauma you are healing by refusing to pass on the same patterns of silence or shame. The trust issues you are unlearning by daring to be vulnerable again. The grief for the life you thought you'd have that you are finally allowing yourself to feel. It is all part of the alchemy. You are turning the lead of your pain into the gold of your wisdom. You are breaking the chains for the women who will come after you. This work you are doing, in the quiet of your own heart, it is the most important work in the world. It is a sacred tending of your own inner garden. And for a long time, that garden may have felt neglected, overrun with the weeds of self-doubt and the thorny bushes of old resentments. This season is your chance to get your hands in the soil, to gently pull the weeds one by one, not with anger, but with understanding, to till the earth, creating soft, fertile ground for new things to grow, and to plant seeds of self-compassion, seeds of joy, seeds of purpose, without demanding that they bloom overnight. You just plant them, water them with your attention and your tears, and trust that the sun will do its work, and you are not doing it alone. She is with you, every step of the way. She is the whisper that says, "Rest, my dear, just rest." She is the strength that helps you hold the boundary, even when your voice shakes. She is the love that reminds you of your infinite worth when you feel invisible. She is the unwavering truth that it will all be okay, more than okay. It will be beautiful, in a way you can't yet imagine, because it will be a beauty that is entirely, authentically, and breathtakingly your own. And so, in this sacred space, let us breathe together. Let this be more than a prayer, not of asking, but of remembering. A sacred ritual to call your spirit home. Take a slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs with the grace of this very moment. And as you exhale, let the noise and the striving and the fear dissolve. Let us begin with a prayer of release. Let each statement be a key, unlocking a chain you no longer need to carry. Breathe in again, and with your breath, say into the quiet of your own heart, "I release the timeline I thought my life should follow. It was a story written by someone else, and I am now the author. I release the need for everyone to understand my journey. My path is my own. It does not require an audience or applause. I release the weight of being the strong one, the perfect one, the one who has it all together. I give myself permission to be human, to be messy, to be in process. I release the guilt of putting myself first. I understand now that my well-being is the well from which I give to others. I cannot pour from an empty cup. I release the ghost of past mistakes, the memory of words I wish I hadn't said, the choices I wish I'd made differently. I forgive myself, for I was doing the best I could with the understanding I had then. I release the fear of the unknown, the need to control the future. I lay down my weapons of worry and anxiety. I am safe in this moment. Now let us move into the prayer of trust. This is the gentle surrender, the softening into the flow of what is. Take another deep breath, a breath of faith, and let your soul whisper, "I trust the process of my own becoming. I do not need to see the entire path. I only need to take the next gentle step in front of me. I trust in the wisdom of divine timing. I see now that the delays have been sacred. The detours have been lessons. The silence has been a classroom for my soul. I trust my own intuition. that quiet voice within me. I am learning to honor her whispers above the roar of the world's opinions. She is my true north. I trust that I am being guided, even when I feel most alone. I am learning to see the signs, the synchronicities, the gentle nudges from a loving universe. I trust that the pain is a passage, not a destination. It is the holy fire of transformation, burning away all that is not me, so that the gold of my true essence can be revealed. Finally, let us offer a blessing of becoming. This is the prayer of joyful anticipation, of calling in the woman you are already, in essence becoming. Breathe in the light of your own possibility, and affirm with a heart full of grace. I bless the woman who is learning to be tender with herself. I bless her courage and her softness. I bless the woman who is reclaiming her voice, who is learning to say no as a complete and sacred sentence. I bless her power. I bless the woman who is finding joy in small, simple things, the warmth of the sun, the taste of her morning coffee, the sound of her own laughter. I bless her presence. I bless the woman who is creating a life that feels like home on the inside, not just one that looks good from the outside. I bless her authenticity. I am becoming her, right here, right now. With every breath, I am closer. With every choice, I embody her more fully. I am her, and she is me. All is well. Everything is unfolding in perfect harmony. I am loved. I am held. I am guided. And so it is. Your future self is waiting for you, not at a distant finish line you must strive and suffer to reach, but right here, woven into the fabric of this very moment. She is the quiet strength that you feel when you choose to be kind to yourself instead of critical. She is the flicker of hope that ignites when you allow yourself to dream a new dream, even a small one. She is the peace that settles in your chest when you finally surrender to the truth of what is, without needing to change or fix it. She is not a different person. She is you, fully realized. She is you with the wisdom of the scars. In Japan, there is an art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is mended with lacquer, mixed with powdered gold. The belief is that the object is more beautiful for having been broken. The cracks are not something to be hidden. They are part of its history, and they are highlighted with gold. Your heart is like this. The breaks, the losses, the wounds, they are not signs of your deficiency. They are the places where the light gets in. They are the cracks that your future self is filling with gold. So when the night feels long and the dawn seems a lifetime away, remember her. Remember this promise. You are walking toward a life you cannot yet see, but one your soul already knows intimately. Trust the ache. Trust the silence. Trust the journey. You have not been forgotten. You are being remade, piece by piece, into a masterpiece of resilience and grace. Keep going. She is waiting to thank you for your courage, for your faith, for never, ever giving up on her. If your soul is calling for a consistent place of peace and remembrance, I invite you to subscribe and join our sanctuary. You don't have to walk this path alone. You are welcome here.